The housing market here in the Inland Empire, it has been shifting. There's more homes on the market. There's longer days on market for these homes. There's more opportunities for buyers. But what does all that mean for you? Real quick though, before we do dive into that, if you are even thinking, even remotely thinking about buying a home, whether it's your first home or buying a new home, a replacement home, if you are thinking about buying a home, I want to encourage you to watch all the way through because I do have a free gift that I would like to leave with you that I think you're going to find very helpful. Okay, first let's do this. Let's start with the elephant in the room. Let's start with mortgage rates. Yes, obviously they are still a little high today. In fact, as of the recording of this video, rates are currently, and this is kind of the national going rate, but rates are still currently a little under 7%, like right about 6.75%. Sure, some lenders may be able to get that a little lower for you, but that is currently the overall average going rate as of today. Seems high, right? I know. Last time we saw rates below 6%, you have to go all the way back to the late part of 2022, and since then they've steadily increased, although for quite a few months now we've been pretty much hovering right about the 7% range. I mean, a little over, a little under. Obviously, as of right now, like I said, we're a little under. But in fact, actually, if you go back to last year, at one point, we got all the way up to about 8%. Ouch. And the higher those rates have gotten, obviously, the more it slowed the market down. Because as a buyer, higher rates means higher mortgage payments, which for many people, it can lead to affordability concerns. And if you're a seller, when you have fewer buyers, it leads to longer times on the market to get your home sold. Sorry, real quick, if this is your first time to the channel, my name's Jose and I am your SoCal Realtor. If you are thinking about buying or selling a home, don't hesitate to reach out. My team and I, we've helped many people just like you, and we're here and ready to help you with your real estate needs too. But sorry, enough about that. Let's go ahead and get back to the video. One of the biggest shifts we have been seeing here in the Inland Empire is the growing amount of inventory. If we look here at the red line, which shows us where the inventory is currently at for this year, for 2025, we are ever so slightly, but we did just pass the 3-year average of inventory prior to 2020, which obviously was about the time that we did start to see the wild ride that real estate has seen. But you can see that our inventory is just past that point. In fact, actually, interestingly enough, just to kind of represent how the inventory has been growing, if you look at the purple line, which is last year, 2024, and the blue line, which is the year prior in 2023, but the highest peak of inventory for 2024, it was actually 33% more. There was 33% more homes on the market than we had at the highest peak for 2023. Again, the point to all that though is that we are seeing an increase in the number of homes on the market. Now, does that mean that we're in a buyer's market? No, sorry, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but no, we're still not looking at a buyer's market. However, it has started to shift a little more in that direction. I mean, compared to what buyers were dealing with back in 2021 and 2022, that was rough. Seriously though, it's no longer the strong, or maybe really we should call it the extremely strong seller's market that we were seeing at that time. And obviously mortgage rates have played a part in that. According to the Federal Housing Finance Agency's National Mortgage Database, 82% of all California homeowners today have a mortgage rate at or below 5%, and 65% have a mortgage rate of 4% or lower. Bottom line, what that means is that many of the homeowners that have been thinking about selling their home, making a move, buying something different, they've been holding off. They've been waiting because of the lower mortgage rates that many of them do have. However, because the rates have essentially been stuck for the past couple of years, we are starting to see more and more homeowners say, just basically, forget it. Let's just do it. Let's get the house on the market. Let's make that move.
It's time.
Of course, though, if we look here at the red line, you can see that the current demand, it's still well below the 3-year average that we were talking about just a moment ago, which is the green line. In fact, actually, right now, demand, it's lower than it's been for the past 3 years. What that means basically is if you're a buyer, you have more options. Now, don't get me wrong though, like I said, we're not in a buyer's market, at least not here local anyway. I mean, I would say for Southern California, or at least for the Inland Empire, we'll put it that way. For the Inland Empire specifically, we are more of a neutral market right now. Yes, I know from some of the reports I have seen, there are parts of the country that has become more of a buyer's market. It's just that it hasn't happened here, not locally anyway. But if you are able to buy a home today, you're definitely going to find less competition, less multiple offer situations, and more opportunities to negotiate with the seller on things like the price of the home. Negotiate on things like repairs for the home, maybe even negotiate on things like help for money for closing costs. Don't get me wrong though, I'm definitely not saying that that's the case for every house and every seller. I'm just saying that there are more opportunities for that out there. In fact, actually, a great example of that, fairly recently, I had one of the buyers I was working with, we were able to get a pretty decent deal on the price of the house. I mean, it appraised for $45,000 more than what we paid for the house. So bottom line, what does that mean? It just means that they had $45,000 of equity on their house day one, and yet still able to get a little bit of help toward the closing costs. So again, does that happen all the time? No, definitely not. I'm just saying that there are more opportunities like that out there right now. Of course, after hearing that, you might be thinking, I don't know, say, is it a bad time to sell? And I'll just say, no, not necessarily. But if you are going to sell your house, you definitely need to be more strategic about it. Because again, like I said, there are more homes on the market right now, and it is taking a little bit longer to get a house sold. I mean, currently the average time on market for a home here locally, it's about 96 days. But if you go back to just last year, back to 2024, it was only 65 days. And if you go back 2 years, back to 2023, it was only 59 days. If we look at this inventory chart again, remember that the red line, that's this year, 2025. The purple line is last year, 2024. But we currently have 47% more homes on the market than we had at this point last year. Can you sell a house this year? Actually, let me rephrase that. Without having to give it away, can you sell a house this year? Sure you can, but you have to be smart or strategic about how you go about it, and here's what I mean by that. If you overpriced your home back in 2020, 2021, even 2022, you could still sell your house. In fact, you could still overprice your home and still end up selling it for more than the list price back then. Not today though. Today, if you overprice your home, it's almost a guarantee that your home is going to get stuck sitting on the market because buyers have options. There's not enough buyers, like not yet anyway, but there's not enough buyers. And like we've said already a couple times in this video, the number of homes or inventory, it's grown. So if you don't have a strategy, and look, we're not talking about just the price, we're talking about the marketing too, then yeah, your house is going to end up getting stuck sitting on the market. I am seeing a lot of that right now, where homes that are going up for sale overpriced, and they end up with longer on market times than other homes in the area that are selling right in the exact same area that are not overpriced and selling much quicker. And in fact, sometimes even much quicker. And here's how taking longer than other homes in the area ends up hurting your sales price. When a buyer sees a home that's been on the market for longer than the average for that area, and listen, when I say longer than the average, I don't mean, hey, that one's been on the market for a week longer. I'm talking like a month longer, maybe 2 months longer. But when a buyer sees that, they inevitably start looking at it and start wondering how low we can go on that one. And listen, I know this one firsthand because I've heard this many times from buyers I've represented. And now all you're getting, assuming you're getting anything at all, but if you are, now all you're getting is a bunch of lowball offers, the thing that no one wants. The other thing I did mention a moment ago that's much more important today than it was just a few years ago, and that is the marketing. What is your agent's plan to market your house? Because for me, I take a lot of pride in sharing with homeowners that are considering hiring me my multi-pronged approach to market and sell their house. But if you're sitting down with an agent and you're considering hiring them to help you sell your house, well, then what are they going to do? What's their marketing approach to helping you get it sold? And listen, I hope for your sake it isn't just, don't even worry about it. We're going to pop that baby in the MLS and the offers are going to start rolling in. Sure, agents could get away with that before. Not today though. I mean, today we have to work a little bit harder to ensure that your home gets sold. And yeah, homes are still selling today, no question about it. And no, they're not selling at deep discounts just to get sold. But if you do want your home to sell, again, like I just said, you have to ensure that you are pricing it right from the start. You have to ensure that your home is being marketed aggressively with great photos, because you want your house to stand out from the crowd. You want it to be seen by every potential buyer. What can we expect with the housing market going forward? Well, all reports are showing us right now that the number of home sales that we should be expecting is supposed to still be a little bit lower. However, the home prices, those are expected to still increase a little bit. If we look at this graph here, it shows us the projections for home price appreciation over the next 5 years. And you can see that the projections, they're not showing home price declines. Don't get me wrong. I mean, yes, some homes or possibly even some neighborhoods might see declines, but overall, on average, they're projected to go up based on these projections. If you were able to buy a home this year, and before I continue, I get it. Yes, this graphic shows a home for $400,000, and there's not a ton of those here in Southern California, but just for argument's sake, if you did buy a home for $400,000 this year, you would have gained just over $83,000 in equity in 5 years. That's why you hear the old saying about real estate, or actually, I guess it's probably true for most investments, but anyway, that's why you hear the old saying about real estate. It's not about timing the market, it's about time in the market. Obviously, you have to be in a position to buy. I mean, you don't want to do anything you're not financially ready to do, but whether it's your first home or your next home, if you're in a position to buy, I probably wouldn't wait too much longer. As I mentioned at the beginning, I do have a free gift for you, and that is my free home buyer's guide. Whether you're buying your first home or your next home, you want to ensure that not only do you get to purchase that home, but that you get the best possible deal on the purchase of that home. And that is what my free home buyer's guide is designed to do, to help ensure that you are as prepared as you can be, that you have a clear roadmap to ensure that you buy your home and get the best possible deal on the purchase of that home. You can download your free guide in the description section below. Of course, if you do have any questions at all, or if you are thinking about buying or selling a home, my contact information is down below. Also, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, until then, we'll catch you on the next one.